Imagine getting sick in the Stone Age. No doctor, no hospital, no pharmacy, no little bottle of pills with instructions written in tiny letters. Just you, your tribe, some plants, a fire, and everyone staring at you like, hope he knows how to stop doing that. And sickness was not the only problem. A cut, a broken bone, a bad tooth, an infected wound, or one very unlucky stomach decision could turn a normal day into a survival emergency. So today, let's ask, how did ancient humans survive without doctors? And why did a sick person's best medicine sometimes look a lot like other people?
Today, if you get a small cut, it is usually annoying. You wash it, you cover it, you complain about it more than necessary. Then you move on. But in the Stone Age, small problems could become big problems very quickly. A cut could get dirty. A wound could become infected. A twisted ankle could stop you from walking. A broken tooth could make eating painful. A fever could make you weak. And weakness was dangerous. Because ancient life did not pause just because your body decided to become dramatic. You still needed food. You still needed water. You still needed warmth. You still needed the group to move, hunt, gather, and survive. So being sick was not just a health problem. It was a survival problem.
The first important answer is simple. People helped each other. A sick or injured human alone was in serious trouble. But a sick human inside a group had a chance. Someone could bring water. Someone could share food. Someone could help them walk. Someone could keep the fire alive. Someone could protect them at night. Someone could watch children while others searched for food. And sometimes the most powerful medicine was not a plant. It was not being abandoned. This is one of the most important things about humans. We are not built like bears. We are not naturally armored, but we are extremely good at making another person's problem everyone's problem. Which sounds annoying until you are the person with the problem. Then it is basically a superpower.
Another thing ancient humans needed was rest, which sounds obvious, but resting in a dangerous world is not simple. If you were injured, you cannot just say, I will stay in bed and watch shows for 3 days. There is no bed. There are no shows. There is barely a floor. Rest meant the group had to protect you while you recovered, and that was expensive. A person who could not walk still needed food. A person with a fever still needed water. A person with an injury might slow the group down. So if ancient humans cared for the sick, that tells us something important. Survival was not only about being tough, it was about being valuable to each other. A group that helped injured people could keep knowledge, skills, and relationships alive. Sometimes helping one weak person made the whole group stronger later.
Of course, ancient humans did use things from nature. Plants, roots, leaves, bark, clay, ash, smoke, heat, cold water, animal fat, honey in some places, but they did not have modern medicine in the way we do. They had experience. They had observation. They had memory. They learned that some plants helped with pain. Some plants helped stomach problems. Some plants made things worse. Some plants were useful only if prepared correctly. And some plants were basically nature saying, do not put this in your mouth, little stickman. The hard part is that learning this was risky. Knowledge came from watching what worked, what failed, and what almost killed somebody. Ancient medicine was not perfect, but it was not random either. It was thousands of tiny lessons passed from person to person.
Fire also mattered. A lot. Fire gave warmth to someone with chills. It boiled or heated things. It cooked food, making it easier to chew and digest. It helped keep the camp safer at night. It gave light so people could care for someone after dark. And it made the sick person's world a little less miserable. That may sound small, but in the Stone Age, small advantages mattered. Warmth mattered. Cleanish water mattered. Soft-cooked food mattered. Not being alone in total darkness mattered. Fire was not a doctor, but it was one of the closest things ancient humans had to a survival machine. It made almost every problem slightly less terrible. And sometimes, slightly less terrible is enough to survive until tomorrow.
But let's not make this sound too easy. Some injuries were terrifying. A deep wound, a broken leg, a bad infection, a serious fever, a snake bite, a bad tooth infection, a difficult childbirth. These were not little inconveniences. They could be deadly.
And even if someone survived, the recovery could take a long time. That meant the group had to decide, can we help? Can we carry them? Can we stay here longer? Do we have enough food? Is it safe to wait? Ancient humans were compassionate, but they were also living under pressure. There was no easy answer. Sometimes the group helped and the person recovered. Sometimes they helped and it was not enough. And sometimes nature was simply unfair.
One problem deserves special attention. Teeth, because tooth pain today is awful. But at least today you can go to a dentist. In ancient life, teeth were tools. You used them to chew tough food, maybe to help hold materials, to process plants, meat, hides, fibers, and whatever else daily life threw at your face. So when teeth wore down, cracked, or got infected, that was a serious problem. Eating became painful. Weakness followed, and if infection spread, it could become dangerous. A bad tooth could make even normal survival harder. Imagine trying to chew roots, meat, nuts, or dried food while your face feels like it is being attacked from inside. That is not a small problem. That is a horror movie in your mouth. A common mistake is thinking ancient humans survived because they were just tougher than us. Like they woke up with a fever and said, yes, character building. No, they felt pain. They got weak. They got scared. They needed help. Ancient humans were not magical super survivors. They were adapted. They knew their environment. They knew which foods were safer. They knew where to find water. They knew useful plants. They knew when someone needed rest. They knew that a person who looked weak today might still be important tomorrow. A modern human has doctors, medicine, hospitals, and emergency systems. Ancient humans had knowledge, community, fire, patience, and luck. And honestly, they needed all of it.
So how did ancient humans survive without doctors? Not perfectly. Not always. But better than one lonely person could. They survived because the group noticed, because someone brought water, because someone shared food, because someone remembered which plant helped last time, because someone kept the fire alive, because someone stayed awake when the sick person could not, and because humans slowly learned that survival was not just about fighting predators or finding food, it was also about caring for people long enough for them to recover. In the Stone Age, medicine did not always come in a bottle. Sometimes medicine was a hand on your shoulder, a warm fire, and a tribe that did not leave you behind.
And if you made it this far without catching a prehistoric fever, consider leaving a like. It helps the video survive the YouTube wilderness. And subscribe if you want more strange stories about life before civilization. Because next time, we're looking at one of the hardest survival challenges of all, being a kid in the Stone Age. No school buses, no playground safety rules, no tiny helmets. Just small humans trying to survive a very large world.